This is Andi Purewal of Boxing News. I'm joined by promoter Eddie Hearn in Saudi Arabia. Eddie, you've been here for a matter of hours and you're already on the media duties.
Yes, I've just arrived today and they're throwing me straight in. Everyone wants their beat of meat, but that's what I'm here for. Can't wait for Saturday. Again, incredible scenes. Excited, nervous. Got 3 huge fights on Saturday night and of course AJ in the main event. Going for victory and looking forward to it.
Just something I wanted confirmation on. Is AJ definitely the final fight of the night or Wilder Parker?
Always been the final fight of the night.
Obviously with Anthony Joshua, how much pressure is there on his shoulders to come through the challenge of Otto Wallin? All the talk about Deontay Wilder or the IBF route, how much pressure is there on his shoulders to perform on Saturday?
We've been here before, haven't we? You know, every time AJ's in a fight, people seem to be talking about the next fight. So we just got to focus on this one. We know there's talks ongoing to fight Deontay Wilder. We all want to make that happen, but if they don't win on Saturday, it's irrelevant, and they've both got real fights. So let's get through that first.
I have to ask you about Deontay Wilder. I had the pleasure of sitting down with him earlier. We spoke about that fight, and he questioned AJ's mental state. He questioned why when Deontay Wilder's brought up to Anthony Joshua, AJ seems to not be receptive about talking about him, doesn't want to really engage in conversation. And he also said that he feels like you're protecting him, that he's your cash cow and you don't want to see him lose.
Yeah, but he's not the smartest, because if he was, he'd understand that, you know, when you talk about a cash cow, really, you're saying that we want to make money. The way that we make money is to make AJ against Wilder. We make a fortune in that fight. We always wanted that fight. AJ's always wanted that fight. And you talk about don't want to say much. Well, when Deontay Wilder was asked about Anthony Joshua at the press conference, he said nothing. He couldn't have been nicer. But in all these interviews, he seems to want to say a lot. We respect him. He's a great fighter. He might lose to Joseph Parker on Saturday night. He's capable of losing to anyone, but he's also capable of beating anyone. That's why he's a very exciting fighter.
Do you believe we see Joshua Wilder next year first, or will AJ go down that IBF route which has been spoken about?
AJ wants to win the World Heavyweight Championship, but he also wants to give the fans the best fights. His CV is second to none. If he fights Wilder and then fights Tyson Fury, he's fought absolutely everyone in the division. So, you know, for me, the Wilder fight is the fight to make. The World Heavyweight Championship's attractive, but we know everybody wants to make the Wilder fight, and that's what we'll try and do.
I do want to ask Eddie, obviously AJ's always under the microscope whenever he's fighting, whether he's talking. What did you make of his media duties yesterday? A lot of people felt that he was maybe a little frosty with the media.
Maybe frosty to people we don't like or people that have been slagging him off for years. What do you expect? Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you can't win. If he's too quiet, he's boring. He's placid. You know, if he's outspoken, oh, he's on edge. You want a more aggressive AJ? You got it. Let's see if you get it in the ring on Saturday night.
Do you think it transcends into the ring?
Absolutely. Everything I'm hearing, tune in on Saturday and watch his performance.
Eddie, obviously Dimitri Bivol and Lyndon Arthur as well. Dimitri a big favourite, but what challenges does Lyndon Arthur pose? He's
a good fighter, Lyndon. Yeah, I like him a lot. He's up with against a pound-for-pound great fighter in Dimitri Bivol. You know, the good news for Lyndon Arthur is Dimitri Bivol's been out of the ring for a long time, but at the same time, I think it's going to be levels above Lyndon Arthur on Saturday.
Dimitri has said it's a 2-fight deal out in Saudi Arabia, and he wants that second fight to be the winner of Beterbiev-Smith. From any conversations you've had, is that the same as what you know?
Yeah, it's what we did. It's what we did. We did the deal, yeah, and you know...
The second fight is the winner of that.
That's the plan. Obviously, you have to get the other fighter to sign, but, you know, we did this fight with a view to do the undisputed fight. We'll have to see if that progresses. I believe Callum Smith's going to beat Beterbiev in a couple of weeks. We shall see.
Dimitri did say that his next fight would land on Feb 17.
Potentially.
Away from that one, obviously you've got Opetaia and Zorro. After all of the issues with the IBF, how focusing does Opetaia look for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate with the IBF. He had to take these, again, 2-fight plan, life-changing opportunity. Zorro's in front of him. I haven't seen a lot of Zorro, young undefeated fighter. Unfortunately for him, he's coming up against the best cruiserweight in the world, who again, I believe, will show the levels on Saturday night.
So we've got a certain Jarrell Miller flirting about as well, Eddie. What have you made of his interactions this week, his altercation with AJ as well?
Yeah, it's all right, it's good fun. You know, Jarrell's Jarrell. He's always got a lot to say. Let's see if he can back it up on Saturday. I love that fight. I love Dubois against Miller. I think it's a brilliant fight.
Could Joshua Miller still happen in the future?
Not at the moment. You know, AJ said he had his chance. He failed all those drug tests, but who knows? It's a funny old game. Right now, Jarrell Miller's not in our plans. But if he wins on Saturday, down the line, who knows?
And just one other thing, one of the biggest talking points coming out the past week, Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. not taking place. Just your take on it.
Yeah, disappointing. Couldn't get it over the line with Eubank. Who knows what the future holds? Conor Benn will fight February the 3rd. We'll announce it this week.
Spoke to Frank. Frank said America, or internationally rather, will be explored. Why not back in the UK?
Because I think it'll be an American opponent, an international opponent. Also, there's no venues available on February the 3rd. It's not going to be a stadium fight. We know that the O2's taken with Boxing against Aziz. So we're going to go on UK time zone, but we're going to go internationally. Looks like, well, I won't say, but it's going to be impressive.
Final one. Are you confident it will be somebody like Mario Barrios or something like that?
It's 5.5 weeks. So the plan with Conor is to fight in February and then again in April. So whatever way we want to do it, just want to keep him active, but be a solid fight for him Feb 3rd. And then on to, could even be Eubank in April, May, but don't want to talk about him anymore. We're making plans for a lot of big names right now.
It is loud, it's noisy. I'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers, mate.